Heart Lifetime Advice from Kazuo Inamori is the definitive book by Mr. Kazuo Inamori and his spiritual legacy to the world. Mr. Inamori, a successful entrepreneur who founded 2 Fortune 500 companies, is known as the Saint of Management in Japan. However, his success is not solely attributed to his business acumen, but also his exploration and cultivation of the inner self. In this book, Mr. Inamori deeply elaborates on his lifelong inquiries, thoughts, and relentless efforts and shares his accumulated spiritual wisdom, such as the spirit of altruism, gratitude, humility, contentment, and resilience. These qualities, he believes, are crucial for true happiness. Reading this book allows us to deeply understand how a person can achieve genuine success and happiness by exploring and cultivating one's inner self. Today, as we delve into this book, we hope you can benefit from it and realize your life value. The Heart of Gratitude. Kazuo Inamori once said, "To live is to be grateful. To live is to be happy." Life's path is never smooth, whether it's a sea of flowers or a field of thorns. Both are sceneries on the journey of life. Without the contrast of thorny difficulties, how can we appreciate the smooth sailing through seas of flowers? The flowers enhance our cultivation, while the thorns temper our spirit. These are precious treasures of life, worthy of everyone's gratitude. In the early days of founding Kyocera, Inamori experienced a challenging period where he didn't receive any orders for 6 months, and the company was on the brink of collapse. Fortunately, the Panasonic Group gave Kyocera a small order. However, this order was highly demanding in terms of delivery times, quality, and price. Panasonic continued to place orders yearly, each time with increasingly stringent conditions. Instead of complaining about Panasonic bullying suppliers, Inamori was grateful. He believed that Panasonic's demanding conditions toughened Kyocera. To meet these demands, Kyocera had to innovate relentlessly, which led to the development of products that surpassed industry standards and brought substantial profits. Meanwhile, many of his competitors who constantly complained eventually disappeared. Inamori believes that the reason for his success is his grateful heart. Whether encountering good or bad, one should be grateful. He thinks that being willing to express gratitude can mitigate one's bad karma. Buddhism posits that living beings inherently create karma through thoughts and actions, which can eventually manifest as disasters. When disasters occur, it signifies the expiation of karma. Thus, we should not be disheartened or despairing during such times. Such a small incident to alleviate past karma should be a cause for joy and gratitude. The gratitude in one's heart directly correlates with the happiness and fortune one experiences. Inamori emphasizes that one should know how to reciprocate others' efforts. Even for a small favor, one should return much more. You should strive to assist others if someone helps you in difficult times. Maintaining a grateful heart is the key to winning the favor of fate. The Altruistic Heart. Kazuo Inamori, revered as a saint of management, dedicated his life to the philosophy of altruism. Inamori mentions in his book that his initial motive for establishing Kyocera was self-serving, to showcase his technical skills. However, an incident in the 3rd year changed his thinking. At that time, a group of young employees demanded a pay raise, threatening to resign collectively if their demands were not met. This made him question the company's purpose. Was it to glorify his skills or secure his employees' livelihoods? Of these 2 motives, one selfish and the other selfless, which one would take the company further? Inamori states that this incident was a rebirth in his business philosophy. He developed his philosophy of wealth based on altruism. He realized that the motive should be selfless rather than selfish in order to achieve tremendous and robust results. When founding KDDI, his goal was to make telephone services affordable for everyone. His restructuring of Japan Airlines aimed to rebuild national confidence, again motivated by altruism. Inamori believes that altruism is a simple act, starting with what one can do locally. In modern society, We are bombarded with the notion of competition. However, the laws of the heavens work in the opposite way. Obsessive competitiveness, striving without purpose, and constant fighting often lead to gaining nothing. On the other hand, a person who is non-contentious, yielding, and gives generously, focusing solely on creating value for others, tends to receive much more in return. The resilient mind. Kazuo Inamori once said that the resilient mind refers to a person's ability to self-repair and regain strength after facing setbacks and hardships. During the early days of Kyocera, Inamori led his team in sales, research, and development, facing repeated failures without becoming disheartened. He stated, "How can we retreat after hitting the wall once or twice? No matter how high the barrier initially seems, you must think, I can surely overcome it. If you touch it, you might find that this barrier is made of paper, not stone. If it's made of paper, puncture through it. If it's made of stone, think about how to climb over it." He also believed, the real work begins when you feel like giving up. Inamori's never-give-up attitude enabled Kyocera to introduce new products continuously. He said, "If you ask me the secret to success, there's only one answer: never give up." Difficulties and setbacks are inevitable in life, but they compel us to self-repair, move forward, and fear nothing. If we can face these challenges with a resilient mind, we will continue growing and progressing. Adhering to the right path. Kazuo Inamori inherited the principle of living and acting with integrity from his parents. The correct way to conduct oneself, he believed, involves being honest, not deceiving others, and caring for others. Judging things not by gain or loss, but by good or evil, using goodness as the standard for judgment and decision-making. This standard of good and evil comes from the depths of the soul within. At the deepest part of the soul lies what he called the true self. The true self is the spirit's most pure and beautiful part. Inamori believed that relying solely on instinct, emotion, or intellect does not necessarily lead to correct judgments. The more critical the situation in life, the more crucial the decisions that determine the company's direction, the more necessary it is to draw from the soul of the true self. In other words, to make judgments that align with the right path. Inamori faced many difficulties because of his insistence on the right path. However, he stated, "It is precisely because I adhere to the right path that I can have an unwavering belief that my business will definitely succeed." He always believed that God is watching me. He credited this belief with his ability to make sound management decisions and achieve success step by step. The Optimistic Heart. Kazuo Inamori once said that life is not as full of dire circumstances as it seems. Simply changing one's mindset can improve the surrounding environment. A person's mindset often determines their fate. Facing adversity with a pessimistic attitude is like having the sky shrouded in dark clouds, where all one sees is a gray landscape, ultimately sinking deeper into despair. Conversely, confronting misfortune with an optimistic mindset can reveal sunshine even in the densest fog, leading one out of the gloom. As a child, Inamori's uncle, who suffered from tuberculosis, lived with his family. Inamori was worried about being infected and dared not get close to his uncle. Ironically, while his father and brother, who cared for the uncle, remained healthy, Inamori, who was extremely cautious, contracted tuberculosis. He suddenly felt his life was in danger and became deeply despondent. That changed when he read a phrase in a book that awakened him. Illness is also a projection of the mind, suggesting that one's thoughts attract sickness. After that, he adjusted his emotions, stopped dwelling on his illness, and actively helped his family with chores. Within a month, his tuberculosis miraculously healed without medication. Life is such that if you constantly focus on negative thoughts, negative energy will follow. Conversely, if you often think about optimistic things, you will be filled with positive energy and attract good fortune. Thoughts determine mindset, and mindset determines fate. No matter how difficult life gets, or how challenging the days are, we should face them positively and optimistically. As long as a person maintains enough optimism, they will manifest what they envision in their heart. The humble heart. Kazuo Inamori once said, "The foundation of living a fulfilling life is the heart of humility." Humility is about lowering one's stance, recognizing one's limitations, and embracing the world with a broader heart. Inamori's life could be described as legendary, yet he never sought to flaunt his achievements. In his youth, despite being a university student, he did not pride himself on his status when interacting with high school students. He willingly engaged in menial tasks without complaint. He worked tirelessly on developing ceramics for his company, achieving great success, yet he humbly credited his colleagues for their achievements. Even after founding Kyocera and propelling it into the Fortune 500, he modestly stated, "This is not the result of my efforts alone." As his achievements grew, so did his bows, and he always treated everyone kindly. Inamori believed that being intoxicated with one's abilities or minor successes and becoming arrogant will hinder further growth. Life is like a towering tree. The higher it grows, the deeper its roots must reach. Understanding how to remain humble allows the tree to be firmly rooted and flourish extensively. One should never consider oneself too important. Humility allows the heavens to provide generous rewards. The reflective heart. Kazuo Inamori had a daily routine. Every morning, he would stand in front of the mirror and reflect on his thoughts and actions from the previous day. He would ask himself, "Did I upset anyone today? Was I kind to people? Was there any arrogance in my words? Did I engage in any selfish behaviors?" He believed that self-reflection is the method to cleanse the soul and the key to a better life. Inamori described life as life equals way of thinking multiplied by passion, multiplied by ability. He believed the most critical factor determining life is the way of thinking. Even if a person possesses excellent talent and achieves success through hard work, if their way of thinking deteriorates over time into negativity, their life will shift towards negativity and decline. Conversely, even if someone is not greatly endowed with talents and faces a life filled with hardships, as long as their way of thinking is positive, they will eventually find fortune and lead an extraordinary life. Therefore, all are tests bestowed by the heavens, whether glory from success, fame and accolades, or adversity from setbacks, failures, and hardships. Inamori said that only those who reflect daily can hone their minds. There are no perfect people in the world, but everyone has the capacity and opportunity to correct themselves. By maintaining a reflective heart and continuously summarizing experiences, one can keep growing and stand out independently. Conclusion. Mr. Kazuo Inamori believed that life's primary purpose is cultivating one's spirit. The following essential aspect is to dedicate oneself to society and humanity, which means living with a generous heart. We often cling to the pursuit of wealth, status, and recognition, running around every day to satisfy our desires. However, these are not the true purposes of life. It is far more important to see whether, through life's trials, the soul has become more beautiful than at birth, and whether one's character has improved than to acquire fame and fortune. Cultivating the spirit and dedicating oneself to others are inseparable. One refines the soul through service to others, and it is precisely because of a good spirit that one can fully contribute to society and humanity. Mr. Inamori believed that when we devote ourselves to society and others with a noble, generous heart, our humanity is refined and feelings of happiness and fulfillment emerge, giving our lives more profound meaning and excellent value. He believed that life begins with the heart and ends with the heart. I appreciate your interest in Wisdom Tree. If you like this video, please share it with your family and friends. Have a wonderful day.